On this page, we're going to add a pocket that was from the cut aparts. I think it was a 4x6, and I cut it apart, and you left, I had like a fourth of an inch of border to score under on all three sides. So I scored a fourth of an inch all the way around, and on the top two corners I just angled those, 45'd them, and then on the bottom two I just cut at a 45 across where they intersected the where the score marks were. And I'm using 1/8 inch tape, which is such a pain because I have to keep it in its own little box or sack because it'll just come out, and it doesn't like to stay untangled much. And I did cut like a fourth of used a 1 inch circle punch and cut a small little half circle out to show where the tag would go or pictures are going to go, so you can pull them out a little easier on that. Then burnish the score tape down so you can have it stick really good. And then on this I put it just right above the bottom hole, and so it would I wouldn't have to cut that, and I could just cut, instead of cut something out of the bottom, I just cut it right out of the top, right up next to the second hole, and that made it look a little better, I think. And the sticker on there is the says Festival of Colors. I didn't mount it on chipboard because it's hard to cut those scallops, so I just, and then you want to burnish it over where you taped it down to get a good seal. And then I have 3 more little stickers that I put down there. That one's just has a flower on it, and then I have piles of leaves and happiness, and those are all mounted on just the thin weight chipboard. I placed them where I wanted them and just used white Scotch quick dry glue and glued it on, and glued that one down, glued the other one down, and then I placed a little brad with a bling in it, cut the brads off, and just glued it with glossy accents down there. Since we live in Texas, we don't really see a lot of fall colors because it just doesn't get that cold where we live. But since we're going to be going to Branson, I know I'm going to see some really pretty colors, so that's what I'm going to use this book for, is to add some colors to it. We'll be there for about a week, and staying kind of up in the mountains. I'm not exactly sure. It's my husband's 50th anniversary reunion from the unit he was in Vietnam. So this is the first one he's been to. We'll see how that goes. This is the back of that tag, and I cut a mat that is 4 3/4 by about 6 1/2, and I scallop punch the edges, that one. And then I have another, just a photo mat that's about 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I may and may not use it. I might just use the regular paper mat that's there. I also use the Sizzix thinlet die that cuts the smile out, and it gives you some lines for journaling, and I thought that would be a fun way to write a few little notes about your trip. And ATG gun to adhere the back of it. And just kind of center it on the page, maybe a little higher up to the top, and then position the smile where you want it. I just use some glue along the outside edges. I guess you could actually even stick pictures in there if you wanted to, but no, I glued mine down, so you can't. I'm just gonna have to use it like it is. We're having a cold front today, and it's only 93. Areas around us, the fire danger is really high because the wind's blowing, and anything can. We haven't had rain in so long, anything can set it off. Not so much right exactly where we live, but the surrounding smaller towns, they're fighting them now. Some of them are in Bastrop, the one that was just nearly destroyed by fire a few years ago. I think they can catch a break. I just put some Scotch Quick Dry on there and put it at an angle. Some washi tape or paper tape, and then I stuck the fall sticker that I did put that on chipboard over it. And then I added a little small banner with a bling brad that I just cut the prongs off of it and stuck on there, and I later go back and tie the crochet thread onto it. I saw the piece about the crochet thread on Catherine's scraps, and that's really clever because it doesn't ravel bad, and you can It's cheap stuff. I can't crochet anymore, but I can use the thread. And there's that one done. See that? Washi tape. And the back side is the pocket, or the front side is the pocket, and you can see the stickers that I used. They mounted on chipboard, and that's the end of that one. The next tag is, I call it the noteworthy tag. I don't know what it's really supposed to be called. So I use those little clips to put everything I've pre-cut to the right pages, and that doesn't mean I always do that. I sometimes reverse where I want to put it. But this one I used some just paper from the kit, and I cut it about 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and I used the tag, the angle punch, to punch the corners, and inked it, and just glued it on with an ATG gun, just kind of in the center, maybe about an inch from the bottom, something like that. Let me see. Yeah, it's about an inch. And that is a chevron die that's Tim Holtz that I cut out of just the green paper. And I'm going to glue the 2 sides and just the 6 little points on the bottom. Well, that's what I was wanting to do, but I just got carried away with the glue and glued some more, so I had to take it apart. But that way I can slip my tag, and maybe, you know, if I want another picture back there, there's still some real estate to use it on. That tag's just in the cut aparts. I think I don't even think I had to trim it. Maybe trim some brown off of it or something. And there I am ungluing what I just glued. And then I trim, there's a corner hanging out, and I trim it off on the right hand at the bottom and re-ink it. The pumpkin is a Tim Holtz Movers and Shapers die, and the leaf is, I think it's Movers and Shapers too. I put some foam tape on the back of the pumpkin, and I just colored the stem of the pumpkin with some distress markers, and This looks like it's brown and gold and green. And I think I have a red one too that I used. Yep. It's kind of muddled it all up and it worked pretty good. So, if I'd been smart, I'd have put my leaf on my foam tape before I put my pumpkin to the paper, but I didn't. I wanted to do it the hard way. Make sure I got it on there and did plenty of work. Now's the time to apply my leaf, but it just sits over there. So then I have to move it and scoot it and scrunch it. I wanted to get that foam tape pumpkin over to the side enough so that it wouldn't go through there and stick on my tag that I'd done. I was having to loosen it up a little bit. Sticking those points down again. Finally remember I'm supposed to be on the camera. I'm just kind of wrinkling it a little bit. And I'm going to ink it. I stuck it in that way, and then I didn't like it that way, so I'm turning it around, sticking it in the other way. There's that one. And put a little glue on the back of that so it would kind of stick to the cross part there. And my tag. And this paper is really good for pumpkins and leaves because it's got such good colors in it. You can even have purple leaves if you want them. And this next page is the I liked the shape, the leaf, just the one leaf, and that's all that was on there. So I just cut a mat that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then I used a 3 by 4 cut apart that I scored at a 1/2 inch. You can see me there where I'm putting the score tape on it, and I put score tape on the front and the back of that score mark line, and then I pulled it off so that the score tape off so it stuck. It was supposed to stick to the back of the mat, but I stuck it to the silly little card that I just did, so I had a mess. I had to get it undone. So you don't want to do that. See, right there I stuck it down, and now I'm going, oh crap, I didn't want to do it like that. So just peeled it up. I don't really know that it needed to be stuck to the paper because you're going to glue the paper down anyway, so, but I did. And then just simply glue all that, which I ran my glue gun backwards, just kind of unraveled everything. And then I just added my ATG around that and stuck it down and stuck a fork in it and called it done. I put it about a 1/2 inch down from the top, kind of centered it, and then burnished across where I'd scored it. There's that one. So we're down to, gonna do the very back, the outside back, which is again the leaf pattern. So if you don't like that leaf being this close to the other leaf, you can just move it, take your tab and put it in a different spot, and it'll work fine. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. I was trying to talk to myself this whole time. That's a cut apart or a sticker, and I don't like 2-part stickers like that, but I finally figured out that if I use the inside and put it where I want it and glue it down, I think probably just ATG gun, then I can go around and just use my fine line tip glue and glue all the outside border to it. So once I get it where I want it, I can just stick it down. We're going to have all of our flooring replaced upstairs and downstairs. What a job it's going to be. We're not doing it, but we have to move the rooms up here. We have to move them all to one, the stuff all to one side, and like the little things up here I have to pack them up, and then they'll come in and do one side of the rooms upstairs, and then we can move it back to the other side, and then they'll go downstairs and do the rest of the house downstairs. So, and then the painters will come in, just like having a brand new house almost. This one really needs some, we have the plastic floors downstairs, but they've just about worn out. This is a different kind of floor, and I think it'll last a little longer because the dogs play on it really hard.